Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. Yes, I have used this famous dialogue from one of the most influential plays of all times to greet you today. This opening line of a famous speech changed the course of history of Rome. You guessed it right. I am talking about the play Julius Caesar, which was written by none other than William Shakespeare. Well, let me tell you a bit about this famous man. William Shakespeare was an English poet, playwright, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. Shakespeare produced most of his known works between 1589 and 1613. His early plays were primarily comedies and histories, and these are regarded as some of the best work ever produced in these genres. He then wrote tragedies until about 1608. Shakespeare wrote 17 comedies, which include The Merchant of Venice and Much Ado About Nothing. Among his 10 historical plays are Henry V and Richard III. The most famous among his tragedies are Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. Shakespeare also wrote 4 poems and a famous collection of sonnets, which was first published in 1609. Julius Caesar is the play of a man's personal dilemma over moral action set against a backdrop of strained political drama. Julius Caesar, an able general and a conqueror, returns to Rome amidst immense popularity after defeating the sons of Pompey. Pompey the Great was a military and political leader of the late Roman Republic. The people celebrate Caesar's victorious return, and Mark Antony offers him the crown, which he refuses. Jealous of Caesar's growing power and afraid he may one day become a dictator, Cassius instigates a conspiracy to murder Caesar. He realizes that to gain legitimacy in the eyes of the Romans, he must win over the noble Brutus to his side, for Brutus is the most trusted and respected in Rome. Brutus, the idealist, joins the conspiracy, feeling that everyone is driven by motives as honorable as his own. Now we shall read on to find out what happens when Antony addresses the crowd. Antony: Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here under leave of Brutus and the rest. For Brutus is an honorable man. So are they all honorable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me. In this part of the play, we see Antony takes over with the famous speech beginning, "Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him." Initially, he says his intentions are not to praise Caesar, but then he stealthily manages to bring his speech around to the opinion that Caesar has been killed wrongfully. He keeps insisting that Brutus and the other murderers are honorable, but each time he says it, he challenges the statement by pointing out how their chief protest against Caesar, that is, his ambition, could not be true. Antony gives examples of how Caesar loved his people, bringing in money to the country, weeping with the poor, and even refusing the crown 3 times. Clearly, he suggests, Caesar wasn't ambitious at all, but was devoted and loving to his people. The crowd is easily swayed with this. Next, Antony uses a little reverse psychology on the crowd. He gets them all excited by talking of Caesar's will and insisting that they really shouldn't hear it. It would only upset them. Now that's what I call masterful manipulation right there. Well, Mark Antony's speech at Caesar's funeral is a perfect masterpiece of public oratory. Don't you agree? We will read the rest of Antony's speech and find out what happens further. TutorMate. For more amazing video lectures, download the free app on the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.